I'm Susan McGinnis with Clean Skies News. We're at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where the American Academy of Arts and Sciences is holding a panel discussion called The Future of Energy. And joining me now is one of the panelists at that discussion, John Rowe, who's chairman and CEO of Exelon Corporation. John, thanks for being here.
Good morning, Susan.
Now, you've talked a lot about a combination of energies needed to solve the energy and the climate dilemma. I know you're a big proponent of nuclear. What energies figure most prominently in your mind for the present and for the future?
Well, in the short term, I think it's natural gas. The improving supplies of natural gas make it the low-carbon economic choice of the moment. In the mid-range, I think it will again be nuclear, and in the long run, we're all hoping that more direct uses of solar become economical.
Okay, and what is your big takeaway that you're hoping that the folks take from this panel discussion?
We've got to get on with dealing with the climate issue, and a cap-and-trade system is the cheapest way of beginning to address the problem.
You didn't mention coal. Do we need less coal, or do we just need cleaner coal?
Well, I'm not a bull on coal,
Okay.
but many of my favorite people are.
You call climate change one of the most profound challenges that we face right now, but you say it's not going to come cheap. Do you think Americans are ready to rise to the occasion, ready to shell out more on their electricity bills when that happens, which it certainly will?
I think Americans are willing to spend something on dealing with what they perceive to be a big problem. But Americans, starting with you and me, always want the cheapest solution, and we'd really like to believe it's free, which it never really is.
So what do you think Americans are going to be facing?
I think Americans need a system like cap and trade that gives them some confidence that the market is at work finding the lowest cost solution, and that these are not just political deals that we're all making to amuse ourselves.
You see that system, maybe the revenues from an auction system helping out those Americans having the most trouble with it?
The revenues can help. Using free allowances in the right way can help. But what's really important is it creates a market mechanism that causes you to hunt for the cheapest solution. Okay. It's the hunt that really counts.
You say that businesses need to take voluntary action right now to try to transition to a low-carbon economy. I know Exelon has done a lot towards that end. Is business stepping up ahead of hard regulation?
It's many are and many aren't. It's the usual situation. At Exelon, our Exelon 2020 plan offers a way of neutralizing our carbon footprint by 2020. That's unique, but we're able to do it because of our large nuclear fleet.
Tell me about, I just want to get your take on this group of companies, small but growing, dropping their membership in the Chamber because of its position on climate change. Well,
I think the Chamber represents many of its members on the climate issue, but not us. And the issue from our point of view is we want to see a more progressive policy in dealing with this problem, and we wanted to make our actions consistent with our words.
There's such a wide variation and debate over what the actual cost of cap and trade will be. What's your sense of how a system should work, how allowances should be allocated?
Well, my sense is you need to have a collar or cap on the price of the allowances in the early years so the American people aren't exposed to wild swings. The truth is, we don't know whether it will ultimately cost $40 or $100 per ton of carbon dioxide to deal with the problem. We do know we ought to start cheaper than that and ratchet it up in a consistent way. And so what's really important is that we have some cap on the cost in the early years.
25 to 30 new nuclear reactors by 2030, is that what you think we need? Do you think that's doable?
I think it's what we need. I think it's doable. I don't know that I think it's probable.
But you guys have committed some $100 million for a facility in Texas?
We spent $100 million, but at the present time, we're not going ahead with it. And the reason is that the state of the economy and low natural gas prices make other alternatives more economical.
So the main drivers of a low-carbon future for the electricity sector you see as natural gas now?
Natural gas now.
Exelon adopted voluntary carbon reduction goals, and you have a goal for having a zero carbon footprint as well?
In 2020.
By 2020. And you're on track to achieve that one?
We are. We're a third of the way there already.
Okay. Well, certainly an interesting discussion. John Rowe, Chairman and CEO of Exelon Corporation, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm Susan McGinnis for Clean Skies News at Harvard University at a panel discussion, The Future of Energy, held by the American Academy of Arts and Sciences.